Joining us now is Steve. That's right, just Steve. And we're going to be talking about a wonderful cleaning system that he has created. He's a scientist and a creator. So nice to have him here. And welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, Donna. How are you?
Good. I thought it was very inventive. It's Steve's Cleaners.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You have cleaners. What type of cleaners, though? They're a little better for you than what's on the market.
They are. They're to be non-toxic. They're plant-based. They were created for everyone that wants to have clean products without worrying about the toxins of the artificial preservatives, the artificial fragrances, and just sort of the nasty chemicals that can end up in a lot of cleaners. I really went out and looked at all the suppliers that are in America, and I sourced out the best non-toxic, plant-based, newest technology that had been created for the raw materials. And then I brought the raw materials together and we mix and blend them and, created our cleaners. And they're all cleaners for your house.
I was impressed. We had a chance to visit last night at dinner, and I was impressed with your scientific brain, right? The fact that you really are a researcher, if you will, like an investigator. So when you say that you were looking for the best of the best, you actually literally went through many, many different things until you found the essence of what it was that was going to work.
It is. I know who most of the major manufacturers of raw materials for soaps basically in America are and around the world. A lot of the major global suppliers even have bases here in America, but there's some really good American-based ones that just cater towards newer development and having non-toxic, non-irritating, really safe cleaners that are derived from plants.
And now you talk about fragrance-free, yet there is a fragrance of lemon that comes from the purest form, right?
Yes, we don't use artificial fragrance, but we do add pure essential oils. And I've always liked essential oils because they're natural, and we're pulling the oil from the plant itself, so you get truly Mother Nature, and it smells like the plants, like the lemons that are in there smell like lemons. And the fact that the lemon also adds more cleaning power to everything helps too, but it makes the product really a lot better. You can see and smell, and you just know, and it gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Autoimmune disease, you were sharing with me, seems to be on a huge uptick. How are your products helping that population?
Well, that was one of the reasons why I helped create it, because autoimmune has popped up in some family members, and they had to be very careful about what they were utilizing because their bodies were just so sensitive to so much out there. And I thought, I've been looking at wanting to update and do some stuff with the contract manufacturing I've done. And so I thought, I'm going to come up with my own product line that is non-toxic and just hits all the bells and whistles that people with like an autoimmune and are just very fastidious towards having everything clean in their house without having the toxins, that it's going to hit all those bullet points that they want, and put it together and get it put out on the market and let people know it's there.
And you have let people know it's there, and it's also really nice is that you're there for that population. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times you'll find that the products that are supposed to be good for the environment and good for you, you pay a premium for, but you priced your items so that it could also be affordable, like an affordable solution. Do you know what I mean by that? Like a lot of times, if you want to get something that's healthier for you, it's the healthier coffee brand or the healthier this, that, or the other thing. You're like, oh, you're going to pay more for it. But that's not what you did. You priced your things competitively so that this could just be a simple choice of a better product.
Yeah, that was something that was important. I wanted it to have value, but I wanted it to be affordable, that the majority of people could afford to buy it. I mean, if you get it too cheap, then it's not going to work, and then it's just crummy stuff. But
right.
as the manufacturer itself, I mean, we manufacture everything. I'm able to control the prices and have a lot more flexibility in how we price everything out. But it is important. I mean, if you want to get a following and you want people to be buying, you want to have a product that's affordable. Because there's a lot of good products out there, but some of them are really, really expensive. And you sit there and just shake your head going, who's buying these overall? I mean, obviously people are, but they're definitely in the higher income bracket versus someone that's just middle class and
Wanting to
making
live,
a living.
Right, a healthier lifestyle also. I also like about your products that a little goes a long way. So you have a multi-surface cleaner. Let's go through some of the different product SKUs that you have. What do you have? What do you offer, Steve?
Well, our multi-surface cleaner right here is probably one of our best products.
Okay.
It is good for wiping and cleaning down every hard surface around your house. I mean, your bathrooms, your kitchens, the floors, even upholstery on furniture, you know, for picking up stains. And it just does a really good job, and it leaves a great smell coming behind.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about your kids touching or playing with stuff and then putting their hands in their mouths, which is what little ones are going to do, because there's just nothing toxic in it. And what we did with this, though, was a little bit unique, is we actually even have a concentrate. So we have a 10-ounce bottle of concentrate that's like in our laundry detergent here. We use that size, and we can actually fill the bottle up 10 times. You know, so you get one of these bottles, and then you buy, which is a 1 liter bottle, and then you buy the concentrate, and then you can just refill this bottle with the concentrate, and instead of constantly buying new bottles and having all the space.
It's a good solution. So you also have, so you have the multi-surface cleaner, you have laundry detergent, and what else? What are your other products?
So we have multi-surface laundry detergent. We have a dish soap for sitting on your kitchen sink and washing your sink or washing your pots and pans. And we have hand soap. We have a peppermint hand soap, and we have a lemon hand soap. We have a peppermint and a lemon bath and shower gel too, or body wash.
Lovely.
And we are going to come out with some dog and cat shampoos. Just haven't quite gotten around to getting it all done for that yet.
Well, I appreciate you coming all the way from Colorado. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your product line with us. And as you notice, like, you know, here, even in our, you know, restrooms and things like that, a hand soap is always like, you know, like the body wash. I was like, I'm into all of those things. So I thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. Really nice to meet you. And thank you for taking your knowledge and your wisdom after years of doing all types of things and creating your own facility where you're on top of everything. You watch it from cradle to the actual production. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Donna, for having me here.
Nice to meet you. Stay tuned for more. As you know, the show is all about good people doing good things for our community. This product line, it's meant to help people, everyday people, even without an autoimmune disease. But if you have one, these products might be a good solution for you and your family. Thanks for watching.
Well, today we're in Manhattan with a beautiful view of the Empire State Building, and I am with Dr. Goldstein. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
I'm very excited. We're here at Esse Care. Tell us about this practice.
Absolutely. So, Esse, the word, one of the definitions I found when I was starting the company a few years ago was the joining of two opposing principles. And for me, I'm a minimally invasive gynecologic surgeon, so I do a lot of complex pelvic cases like endometriosis and fibroids and hysterectomies. But I always found that there was something lacking with surgical care, in that, a lot of surgeons perform really amazing surgery, and then after that, it's like the relationship is done and the patient's, sort of left on their own. And so what I wanted to do was really bridge together all of the important pieces for the patient so they don't have to go searching for all of it afterwards. So bringing on board nutrition and wellness and hormone care and all of the other aspects that they really need in gynecologic surgery world. And
so it's more about reproductive surgery, but also the wellness component.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
blend all that together for them.
Yeah.
I think that's fabulous. What is that, that whole person approach for you?
So I was an endometriosis patient myself for many years. I had many surgeries and a long journey with infertility. And, when I was younger and when I was going through all of it, I was sort of always searching for things. Like I would go to acupuncture, and I went to osteopathic medical school. So I was sort of raised up with whole body wellness, and the body is an integrated unit, and you can't just fix one small thing. You have to think about the body as a system. And I think it's really true for conditions like endometriosis that, we treat one thing, but there's still so much interplay with what happens afterwards, And so I really like to collaborate with all different providers like pelvic floor and acupuncture and a really awesome nutritionist and primary care internists, and bring teams together so that the patient really achieves their best state afterwards, and they feel really good, but they also know what am I going to do in the future, and how am I going to tackle all of this afterwards. I found that when I was a patient, I was always searching for things. So, okay, who's the best acupuncturist, and who should I go see for this, and what nutritionist knows the best thing about this today, and it's a lot on the patient. It's so much research you have to do on your own. And a lot of my patients come to me after so many years of infertility or endometriosis, and they could have a medical degree by the amount of research they've done by that point. And, so the goal is always to make it easier, right? And make it a more seamless process, make pre-op, post-op, even if they're not surgical, make it a sort of hand catered and curated experience that's nice for them and complete.
Why is it that the symptoms mimic other things? Because a lot of times people are misdiagnosed when they actually have endometriosis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. Endometriosis can occur all over the abdomen and even up into the thoracic cavity, even into the lungs. And there's a lot of interplay even with nerves that run through the pelvis where symptoms can become systemic. And there is a lot of interplay with chronic pain that has even neurologic symptoms down the road. And so endometriosis often, by nature, it's a disease that is not a disease of the uterus. It's a disease where tissue that is similar to uterine tissue is growing outside of the uterus. And so
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so they're not, they look identical in the microscope. So
Okay.
They look like endometrial glands or stroma that line the endometrial cavity and are shed every month with a period. However, they're not from there necessarily, and they are growing in ectopic places all over the abdomen. And so often endo can grow on the bowel or grow right next to the bowel, the intestines. It can grow on the appendix, on the bladder. And then wherever it's growing near, the patients can have symptoms of those things. So a lot of endo patients are told, oh, you have interstitial cystitis or something wrong with the bladder, or they have frequent urination and pain, and then they think it's a bladder issue and they see a urologist. Or they're having bowel issues for years, they see a gastroenterologist. They have 3 colonoscopies, all of them are normal. And it's super frustrating. And then all of the imaging they try to get, imaging for endometriosis, it can show stage 3, 4 disease, but it does not pick up stage 1 and 2 disease very much.
Okay.
And so it's very frustrating for patients because oftentimes, even when we're going into surgery, we have no proof that there's endo when we're going in for surgery.
Oh my goodness.
It's all based on their symptoms,
Okay.
on their story, on everything that's bothering them. And that, I like to tell patients, is like a map. It's like a constellation map of what's happening in their pelvis. And every single one of those symptoms, they have leg pain down one side, they have painful intercourse, they have bowel symptoms since they were 15 years old. And, those things are all really like a map of what's happening in the pelvis. And so the best predictor of endo is really their story, not any imaging.
And you're a good listener. Yes. And so by the time somebody comes to you, you said sometimes they might have been dealing with this for about a decade.
Yes.
And then they finally find you, and then you're able to talk to them and understand what's happening.
Yeah. So one of the things when I first started my practice was I always have like a teapot and cups of tea that are very nice, and I sit with patients for an hour on their new patient visit.
My goodness.
And there's often tissues like these, and it's a story, and I know that it's been a long time for them to get to that point. Some of them fly in from across the world and across the country, and it's a very long road to get to that point where they're listened to, they're cared about, and everyone in the office and in our company, I want them to have that same listening skills and embody that same approach, because they've been through enough hurdles. They don't need to be proving anything when they walk in the doors.
Do you find that your patients, once you share with them your own personal story, realize that you can almost empathize with them, right? Like you've walked the walk, you talk the talk, but you've actually been in their shoes.
Yeah.
How did you find help? Was there someone that, like a mentor or somebody along the way that said, I think this is it, and then you decided to have your practice go into that?
Yeah, I did. I had a mentor, my very first endo surgery, that helped me. And, he helped me with my first endo surgery, and then I ended up training under, a brilliant mentor at Lenox Hill for years. And so I had a lot of help and was I matched at Lenox Hill. I ended up training at Lenox Hill, and I really wanted to go to Baylor and Texas, where my family was. And I ended up matching at Lenox Hill, and it was probably serendipitous that, I ended up matching there and training extensively in endometriosis, and then had it, and then had the surgeries and the infertility. And I had a lot of help with my infertility doctors along the way. And I have 2 little miracles, but it was a long road. But yeah, I think all of that, it was sort of meant to be, I guess, that I dealt with those things so that I can provide that for the patients, that they know that it's not, that I do get it, and not every physician has to get it or go through all these things, but, I think it allows them to be comfortable right away that I'm not going to sort of dismiss them and not understand what it's like to deal with those things,
Well, we just got to visit with Dr. Goldstein, and now we're here with Dr. Rosen, Dr. Lee Rosen. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. I got to learn a little bit about you, and one interesting fact is Mount Sinai plays very prominently in your life. Tell us about that journey.
This is true.
Okay.
Yes, so I went to medical school at Mount Sinai. I then did residency at Mount Sinai. I stayed on for fellowship at Mount Sinai. I worked at Mount Sinai. And I was born at Mount Sinai as well. My whole life.
It's your whole life.
Yes.
From cradle to all the way.
Correct.
It's so nice to be here. Esse has such a beautiful vibe here. Esse Care kind of embraces what it is, the feminine energy, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about, now that you've been with the practice, what your feelings are about Esse Care.
I mean, I've been here now, I guess, almost 4 months, and it's been incredible. Mainly because I feel that they are dedicated to figuring out how to enhance the patient experience and really individualize care and constantly make changes. If something isn't, optimal for a patient, we always, tweak it, and they're just really wonderful in that way.
Now, some of the things that you work on are unique, right? There's
Yeah.
fibroids, but we were talking about the difference between I know the term hysterectomy.
Yes.
But now there's a
Hysteroscopy, yes.
Oscopy.
Yes.
Okay, which sounds almost like a colostomy. Like all these,
Yes.
Like all of those words are all medical words.
Yes.
All come from different roots and things
Yes.
like that. But I was like, okay, so what's different now? What is
Yes. The difference
How can
between-
you do that? Right, from a hysterectomy going to something that's maybe less invasive?
Yes.
Okay.
So hysterectomy is the term for removing the uterus. hysteroscopy is really placing a camera to look inside the uterus.
Okay.
And then there are different types of procedures that can be done on the uterus by means of using a hysteroscopy.
Okay. So it's a scope, if you will, that can, like a little seeing eye camera.
Exactly. It's a small camera that goes really small, goes in the vagina, all the way into the cervix, into the uterus itself.
Okay. And so from there, you're able to see, like, okay, maybe this needs to just be frozen cells as opposed to maybe surgically removed, or is that what you
exactly
make your care path through that?
Well, it's a little bit. Sometimes it's that someone will find out that they have a growth in their uterus that's causing issues. So, for example, a polyp, which is a growth in the uterus that can cause abnormal bleeding, fertility issues. Another type of growth that will be there could be a fibroid, and so sometimes a hysteroscopy is used to look inside, confirm that either a couple of these things are there, and then can also remove these things as well, depending upon the situation.
When you have a patient present to you in that way, do they sometimes have more than one thing going on at the same time?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
They can. I mean, there's pretty good imaging now that's done before going into doing a procedure like this, so usually you know what what to expect when you're doing the hysteroscopy, but sometimes, yes, you can have multiple things going on. I work very closely with a lot of fertility practices in the New York City and Connecticut area, and so a lot of patients who are struggling to get pregnant, they'll go see their fertility doctor, and their fertility doctor will do a workup, and they'll determine that, oh, you have something that's structurally in the way that needs to be removed in order to help get pregnant. And so I see a lot of patients in that way. So the fertility doctor will contact me and say, Lee, I've got this situation, can you see this patient and help? And so that's a lot of what I do.
What is the reward for a physician, a surgeon like yourself, after the patient goes through something and then you're helping them with their wellness here at this practice? What is the give back to you? Have you seen like life be changed or?
Yeah, I mean, it's the best part of it, I have to say. I think, well, from a fertility standpoint, being able to help people get pregnant and achieve those goals, I mean, it's really incredible. Every so often I'll get a patient of mine who will send me a message and with a picture of their baby, and it's unbelievable. But I also think, a lot of people I meet have had experiences in the past with their gynecologist where maybe the communication wasn't so great, or they didn't really feel heard or respected. I don't know, it seems to be something that I see a lot, and so being able to basically contrast that with a patient and make them even just a visit, and then they feel like, wow, like I actually know what my options are, I feel comfortable, and I want to take control of my life and my health in this way. So just basically being able to do that for someone is really rewarding.
What would you like a future patient to know? Like, what is one thing that you would want to convey to them to let them know that it's okay to, seek that advice, or to go to the website to learn more, or,
right.
What if we were going to do our best job to invite them in? What do you want them to know? What's a good first step?
Well, I think that I do meet a lot of patients who, at the end of our visit, they'll say, wow, I can't believe that, you spend so much time talking to me and getting to know me and giving me my options and not judging me. And I'm like, that should be how it is. So please, if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you're not being listened to, you're not being given options, you gotta go somewhere else. Dr. Goldstein and I, one of the things we have in common is we don't have egos. We're very much like, this is about the patient, and this is always about the patient. And so that, I think, is so critical in terms of really giving good care.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more. We have been living it up right here at Esse Care in Manhattan. They do have 3 locations. People travel to them, or they'll travel to those locations. But if this is the place that you feel you need to be, please reach out to them. You will.
An amazing day for a celebrity golf outing, brought to you by Big Daddy Rich Salgado and Tunnels to Towers. We're bringing you all of that and more right here on the Donna Drake Show. Today you're playing golf, I believe?
Yes, we are, for a great cause.
For a great cause. Tunnels to Tower is supported today by Big Daddy Rich Salgado Celebrity Golf Outing. And Tunnels to Tower is a great cause. Can you just talk a little bit about why support them?
Yes, you know, they take care of the people that take care of us. They support the people that are running into the danger when we're running out. So I think it's our duty to take care of them and their families.
Absolutely. Now, what are you looking to shoot today?
Oh man, it's a scramble. So I think maybe break 70. We'll
70?
see.
I think we could do it.
I think we can do it. I hope we can.
Frank, for those of us that don't know, could you tell us a little about the programs that Tunnels to Tower supports and what you guys do as a foundation?
Yeah, so my brother was a New York City firefighter who on September 11, 2001, gave his life. We're called Tunnel to Towers because he ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel with his fire gear on his back that day, and he gave up his life while saving others. So, through that tunnel up West Street into the South Tower and giving up his life, he left behind a wife and 5 kids. So when we found out, and he was also youngest of 7 siblings, he was our little baby brother, and we found out what he did, we said, let's start a foundation to honor not just his sacrifice, but the sacrifice that so many people, and certainly first responders did on that day. And ever since, almost 24 years, if you're a first responder, you die in the line of duty, and you leave a young family behind, we're going to pay off your mortgage anywhere in America. So we do approximately 200 of them a year. Sometimes more, never less. If you're a firefighter, any kind of first responder, we're going to take care of your family that's left behind. If you're a catastrophically injured service member or first responder, you lose your limbs or you're paralyzed, we're going to build you a mortgage-free smart home. And if you're a Gold Star, if you give your life for your country and you leave behind a young family, we're going to pay off your mortgage. And if you don't have a home, because a lot of time in the military, you're going from base to base, we're going to build you a home. Mortgage-free. And last but not least, about 2.5 years ago, we made a commitment that we're going to eradicate homelessness amongst our veterans. And by the end of this year, we will have taken 20,000 homeless veterans off the street into their own apartments and got them all the services they need to assimilate back into society. So we're very proud of the work that we're doing. We ask people to go to t2t.org, donate $11 a month. I don't think that's asking too much for people to do, and the millions of people that have come together to help us do that, they're the ones that are building these houses or paying off these mortgages or getting these homeless vets off the street.
You excited for today?
Very excited. I really believe in the mission of Tunnel to Towers, and Big Daddy is a big friend of mine, so I'm here to support the cause and be with my friends.
Absolutely. And you also yourself are a veteran, correct?
I'm a veteran of the United States Navy for 5 years, 1978 to 1983, and I went to high school here on Long Island, Sewanaka High School.
Oh, really? Yeah. Nice. I'm from Dix Hills. I went to Half Hollow Hills, so right nearby. What are you looking to shoot today?
Oh, I'm just looking to finish the golf course today.
Okay. Well, I think we can manage that.
Yeah.
All right, Sal, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, good to see you, and my best to Donna. Well, Big Daddy's a good friend of mine, and I'm a sports commentator. I do a lot of golf broadcasting, covered, 35 Masters. I have a show called Talking Golf on The Fan on Sunday mornings from 7 to 8, and was on the Golf Channel for many years. Anyway, I'm in the golf broadcasting, sports broadcasting biz, and Big Daddy asked me to come and play, and I'm happy to be here. And of course, the charity is incredible. Tunnel to Towers is great. I'm all in to support their cause, so I'm excited about the day.
Yeah, me too. It's great day, great weather, and as you mentioned, a wonderful cause with Tunnels to Towers. Now, with all the Masters and PGA that you've covered, have you picked up anything that'll give you an edge today?
I talk about all the professionals for many, many, many years, and if I could play like them, I'd probably be playing professional golf. But, you know, golf is just so much fun, and I have a new book out called Life on the Green, Lessons and Wisdom from Legends of Golf. In fact, everybody who's here gets a book in their backpack, and I'm here to sign them. But all the book's about what these legends bring from their golf careers that they use in their day-to-day life. So it's all about life wisdom. So for me, I learned a lot from these legends about, you know, golf and life, and we're not going to take it too seriously. We're going to have fun. It's for charity. Golf can drive you crazy, but you don't let it. You just have a good time with it because it's a very challenging sport. And look, it's just a great day.
And now we are here with boxing legend Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. At this great event, and glad to be here with a lot of friends and a lot of new friends. So it's a good thing.
Absolutely. And we're here supporting a great cause with Tunnels to Towers.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about them today?
First of all, you know, this has been an event that's been going on for quite a while, years. And I'm glad to be a part of it anywhere I can, and to be here personally to see a lot of old friends and meet new friends, and also for the cause, which is most important. And, you know, I just know and hope it continue to thrive and get so big where we need more room. So, and there's a lot of room to be able to spread out for help and awareness of this fantastic program.
Absolutely, yes. And now we're here with the organizers of today's event, my personal friend Rich Salgado and Angelique. Guys, how are you doing?
Well, we're here. We're getting it done, and great weather and a great cigar. And what else can you ask for?
Amazing friends.
Amazing friends, absolutely. And we're here for another golf classic. Rich, how many years has this been going on now?
This is like 10. You know, we had a little break in between, but it's 10, and just getting bigger, stronger, faster, and everything is going great. So
absolutely. And here we're here today with another great cause, Tunnels to Towers. Can you tell us a little about them?
Well, you know, listen, they're New York based. They're everything about New York, and you know, being a New Yorker, it just hit home for me. And when you hear Frank Silla tell the story about how his brother gave his life trying to rescue other people, we were in. You know, we got hooked in. So
yes, I think it's something that I just really wanted to say, which is T2T is proof that you can take a tragedy and turn it into a legacy of honor and of hope, and that's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is going to be great. That is fantastic.
I'm Donna Drake.
And I'm Harlan.
Where are we?
We're at Tribeca 2025, New York City. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I thought it was going to like have a deluge of water on us, but it's not like, too crazy.
See, a deluge is a big word. We don't hear that on Soul Free a lot.
Okay.
So that's what happens when we're with Donna Drake on site. We hear big things, and I'm psyched because this is a big thing tonight.
It's a big thing. Andy.
Kaufman.
Bump, bump.
Bump, bump.
Yay, Andy Kaufman. Okay, so this is a documentary, I guess is what you would say. Great cast, great people, and what they did is they took audio tapes from Andy, many, many years of them. Did you know that he walked around with a cassette recorder?
Oh yeah, and that's the magic of Tribeca. This is another magical Tribeca moment where tonight on screen, Andy Kaufman's going to be brought back to life. So this is going to be a very special film. I'm psyched we're here for it, and we're psyched about so many other things going on this year.
I think we should be like Andy. I think we should have a microphone in our tape recorder in our pocket.
Yeah, well, basically we do. I mean, we have our phone. Like, we could do it.
Yeah, and tonight we have Lorraine. Lorraine Leno! Big shout out to Lorraine. We love you, Lorraine. Be well. Joining us now is Clay. Clay, how excited are you for this?
I'm so excited. I mean, listen, we're in New York. This is Andy Kaufman's backyard, close to where he grew up and where he really got started in his career at Catch a Rising Star and a lot of comedy clubs around here. So this just feels right, to be here showing this movie, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
So an interesting cast of characters, both behind the scenes and in front of the camera. What brought you together? Have you worked with Ross before? Who are some of the people that you've worked with before, and how did you put this whole team together?
I mean, listen, I feel very fortunate that I have this amazing group of producers that honestly brought me the project. And so I've worked with Ross Dinnerstein at Campfire. I think this is our 4th project together. And we've done a couple series, we've done a couple features, and Dwayne Johnson and $7, his company, and Dave Letterman at Worldwide Pants, they all formed together and wanted to make this documentary on Andy because they all love him. Dwayne loves him. Andy's one of the best wrestling heels that has ever existed. So, they brought this project to me to see if I wanted to be a part of telling it, and then we went to the family and asked them if, what it would be like to try to collaborate together, and the family said, we just want to do something that is like a deeper, more three-dimensional portrait of our brother than we've seen, before. And I was really interested in that too. And that sort of led us to these conversations to get to these audio tapes, which were the crux of the whole movie.
What about this particular project that made you say yes as the executive producer?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Andy Kaufman since his comedy specials on Comedy Central. I've always been a fan. He's inspiration to my life, really.
And not your first time at Tribeca. No. Yeah, tell us about. I know, right? Da-da-da-da! Big time. 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, tell us about your other appearances at Tribeca.
I directed a movie called Waldo on Weed. Whoopi Goldberg produced. I was a co-executive producer on Butterfly in the Sky, and I was a producer and editor on Ghost Heads.
Congratulations. What do you attribute your success to, Tommy?
I just don't stop.
If you don't quit, nobody's going to fire you, right? You just keep going, right?
I've actually never been hired, so.
So I heard high school, right?
Even before high school, yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, we were elementary school friends together. My cousin Greg and him were in the class just before me, and Greg and I, my cousin, moved back to the city, and he showed up one day. We lived in the same apartment building, my cousin and I. We were both in the film, I think. So,
I believe so. I don't think you're on the cutting room floor. I think you made it. I think you made it.
yeah, well, why would you be talking to me, right? So I'm representing the whole gang, I guess. Yeah.
Was he always kind of making those funny little sounds and things? Was he kind of making funny sounds back then, or being playful? Would you go to the grocery store and something crazy would happen? Give us a little inside look.
We had a little code we used whenever we were on the phone. I don't know if it's a secret code, but I'll let you know. It's I would say LV.
Okay.
For Elvis Presley, right. And he would say Joff Hayes, and then we knew we were on the same page and we were actually talking to each other.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes you need to know that because somebody could impersonate one of you, right? And you wanted to make sure it was the real you.
We were just being kids, just being silly kids.
And what are you up to these days? What are you doing, Glenn?
I live in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, in the Berkshires. I've been an actor for about half a century now, theater acting. So yeah. Yeah.
Shakespeare, that's the one that goes with the heartbeat?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare?
I do Shakespeare and
Give me a line from Shakespeare.
this above all to thine own self be true.
You've worked with this team before, like some of the partners, right? Clay, he was telling me a little bit behind the scenes. Tell us about how you got involved.
About 4 years ago, I was approached by an individual who was working for Dwayne Johnson's company, $7, saying that they would like to do a documentary about Andy Kaufman. And so I was brought on essentially as the sort of boots on the ground day-to-day producer to wrangle all the various participants from Andy Kaufman's family to Dwayne Johnson to David Letterman to all the various stakeholders with the estate, which is his family. And then I was the one that thought, we got to get Clay Tweel on this. Clay and I had been working together, and we had always quoted Andy Kaufman quotes on various projects and just in our daily life. So my first real thing to do was to get Clay on board. And then we started putting together the whole team, and then we took it into a company called Fifth Season and got Fifth Season to finance it.
And McNair did the score.
Yes.
Did you enjoy working with him?
Yes, absolutely. The score is incredible.
Disney things, he's done a lot of work. What about the music kind of adds to the ambiance of it?
I mean, Andy was such a song and dance man, and so the music was so important, and McNair did an incredible job using music that Andy created himself and using that as almost the DNA of our original score.
You know what? I came into the Andy Kaufman world a little late. I was like a new fan, and so I came in with like a really, really open mind, and so I got to discover his work kind of anew. My partner and Clay Tweel here, he was like a huge, huge fan and was always quoting him, always referencing him, always sort of in our world. And so for me to really be fully absorbed was like thrilling for me.
I'm excited for all of you. It's going to be a beautiful night. I mean, look at the line. Do you see the line getting ready to see your film? It's all the way down the street.
Yeah, for the first time right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I was standing over there, so this is really cool. This
so
is
nice to meet you.
Showing it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Tell me about the significance of Riverside, your necklace.
I'm from Riverside, California, and I moved away for college and then have lived in Los Angeles ever since, but I like to stay grounded and remember where I'm from.
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I totally get that. Go Riverside, go Riverside!
I love Andy Kaufman and very inspired by him. And I'm just happy it's cool. I can just walk over here.
You also love like Rich Little, so many of those impressionists, right? At what age did you kind of know that you wanted to do this?
Kaufman was so great. He would do this weird like Elvis thing. You know, he was incredible. I was a kid and I just loved comedy. Yeah, he was amazing. I fell in love with comedy at a young age, and I was watching these guys on YouTube. The old guys. Now they're old.
And you've been doing the celebrities. What was the most challenging person that you did? Was it Jeff Goldblum? Like, who was it?
Well, he's very fun. Jeff Goldblum, JEFFGOLDBLUM. Very fun. Thank you. Very sensual, of course. Really has with the camera, if you know what I mean. He really has the camera lens. Jeff Goldblum, you know what I mean? Yeah, this guy's shocked, or very shocked right here, but thank you. We're talking about Goldblum, by the way. I would say the most challenging one to do, oh my God, that's a good question. I think like Bill Gates I was doing, he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
It's like, well, it's great to be here at Tribeca, watching this film. Happy to be, of course, politically a lot to work with at the top of the country.
So it's never ending, yeah.
At what age, though, did somebody say to you, Matt, I think you've got some talent? Like, was your second grade, third grade? Like, for you personally?
When I was like 4 years old and I watched Austin Powers, then I started to get a feel for that I could do this, sort of. So I'm figuring it out.
Well, you're making a great career of it, and you're making a lot of people happy.
Thank you very much.
And my children are in their 30s, and I was so surprised that he passed at 35, because when we all like knew that he passed or whatever, he seemed more like a grown-up to me, right? Born in the 40s, really wonderful person, and has left his imprint, if you will, right? Brandon Tartikoff was, behind Taxi and everything. Lots of fun. He didn't consider himself a comic, but more of a performance artist. Is that correct?
Absolutely. He said, I never told a joke in my life. He did not tell a joke on stage, and I think that the legacy and the lasting impact that he's made, I don't know where I heard this, but I think it was Lorne Michaels said that I worked with him and knew him for 7 years, and I've been talking about him for 40. So it just is, it is emblematic of, how poignant and how powerful his performance art was, that it sticks with everybody for so long.
It was a joy to speak with you tonight. Break a leg. I'm so happy for you to see it on the big screen. You must be thrilled.
I'm thrilled. Listen, I love watching movies in a theater with a room full of people, and so this is the best.
Bring on the popcorn. Nice to meet you. Happy journeys. What are you most looking forward to tonight? Some of the people on your team haven't. This is the first time they're seeing it on the big screen.
My 14-year-old daughter's here, and so I'm very excited for her to see it. And she doesn't get to see a lot of the stuff I make because I make so much true crime. So I'm really excited for her to get to see it.
I saw the twinkle in her eye when you took a family photo. I know that she's proud of you, and I know that you're just equally as proud of her.
I am.
So happy journeys to you. So nice to meet you,
Nice
Ross.
to meet you.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy right now. I feel like tonight's energy is like super exciting. You have to be here, and I hope through this television show you get to feel as if you were. Stay tuned.
É inacreditável, tipo,
It's unbelievable.
eu nunca imaginei algo tão grande, mas a mensagem também é muito forte e
I never
importante.
imagined something that big, but the message is just as big.
Então, eu sou muito grata por essa grande oportunidade.
I'm very grateful for this huge opportunity.
Não há clima sem floresta. Não há sustentabilidade climática sem a floresta em pé e sem os povos protegendo.
There's no climate sustainability without the forest and without its people protecting it.
Nada mais justo de escutar aqueles que protegem e que sustentam o clima do mundo.
There's nothing more fair rather than listening to the people that are protecting the forest, that it's important to the world.
Não somos só povos da floresta ou povos indígenas.
We're
Somos
not only-
aqueles que sustentam e que protegem não somente a mudança climática, mas a saúde do planeta.
We're not only indigenous people. We are the people that are protecting the planet, sustaining the planet, supporting the planet.
É mostrar a realidade da injustiça não somente climática, mas sobretudo de existência enquanto povos.
Is to show resistance while being indigenous people and to show the reality behind the truth.
Oh, it's really a big honor. I can't believe it still that we're here. I was here the first time in 2004, so I'm sort of coming back 21 years later. It was my first film and now with my latest film. So it's a great honor, but it's also like very special because, you know, I deeply care about the Amazon and the indigenous people. And I just think having a big night like this will give them a stronger voice and just more recognition. So I couldn't be happier to have this film tonight. Amazing. These people tend to get forgotten, unfortunately, and I think they are just the wisdom of the planet. You know, they understand what we need to save the planet and what we can do, and we just need to listen. We have stopped listening to these people, and I think they're so powerful and they're so connected to Mother Earth that we just need to listen again to what they have to say. I want people to reconnect, you know, I want them to feel empathy, to connect to these people and to just listen because we're losing one of the biggest ecosystems in the world. So I was looking for 5 years, you know, I was working on this film and I was trying to find a voice that can really travel and that people can really connect with. And Juma Shipaya, the focus of this film, the subject, she is this voice that I think people will connect to and people will listen to. So I hope that the world wakes up, that they don't think it's irrelevant and they start to listen.
Yes.
You know, it was very important to find their trust and to get them to collaborate, so to really invite me into their world. And Juma led the way, you know, like after getting to know her and understanding that we want to work together, we want to do this together, she brought me into her family and into her community. And that was a huge honor because I needed her to guide me. I'm not an indigenous, I don't know the world. So I needed this to be a partnership, and she invited me in and gave me her trust, and that was the biggest recognition. And now we're presenting this film together. It's our film, it's their voice that will be heard, and that was the most important thing for me. I try to make these films for a large audience. I'm not doing it for the small bubble. You know, I'm trying to make it so that the whole world will connect and that they will feel something. And that's the most important thing. We have forgotten to connect to Mother Earth, and I hope this film will touch people and that it will travel far beyond the bubbles and for the greater good.
Tonight is the world premiere of Everything's Going to Be Great. Stay tuned for the stars. This film, I believe, is going to be like the calling card for the young actors that were in it. Like, there's something magical about it. Do you feel the same way, and if so, why?
You've already seen the movie?
No, but I've read all about it, and it just seems like the whole entire premise. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, right? And I was in like in a little choir group.
Yeah, and you know, so
Midwestern. It's got some sort of like, I don't know, heartland about it.
yes, it does. Absolutely, it did. This started in Kansas, and it takes place in Kansas and Philadelphia, New Jersey, Atlanta. I can't even remember all but to be on and I don't know if you were part of regional theater like I was, but I did travel and do regional theater around the States, and it was just a rite of passage for me. So to be a part of this story, telling Stephen Rogers, it's semi-autobiographical because his father produced regional theater, and Stephen did a lot of that, and and also Bryan has had a huge experience in the theater and regional theater. And if you've ever listened to that podcast, Smartless, did you hear his episode?
Yes.
Because if you listen to that, you'll understand why Bryan does.
It's so touching. So can you tell us about your own character and the development for this important film?
This movie is so touching. It is a slice of humanity. It is joyous and sad and silly and fun and adventurous and ultimately very, very uplifting. I think audiences will leave this movie and say, everything's going to be great. Well, if it's not great, everything's going to be good. So that's what we hope anyway.
Let's go for great.
Let's go for great.
You've done other things too, like Scream or different projects and things like that. How is this one a little different?
I would say this one is the first time I've really got to explore a very emotional side of myself. And that really makes me feel like, I don't know, I'm just very proud of this film. I'm very proud of it. And I'm glad I got to explore with a great director who let me explore. And yeah, I don't know, I guess just...
You'd work with Jon again?
100,000 times, yeah. Dude, Jon's the best. Jon is the best.
I would like to know what the concept was. Now, I know Bryan had a story, but I heard you might have had a little bit of a story too growing up.
Oh, well, I wrote a movie called I, Tonya, and that was a true story. And so after that, everybody offered me true stories. But I didn't really like any of them. And so I thought, well, why don't I write something about the way that I grew up? My dad produced regional theater for a living. It was never big time. But I was in a play before I ever saw a play. And I hadn't seen that in a movie before. And I thought that was sort of original, and the whole point of trying to be an artist is to be original. But then while I was writing it, a lot of my friends were going through that period in their life where you either double down on making your dreams happen, or you let them go and you try and do something else. And that was really moving to me. How long do you gamble on yourself? And then what are the consequences of that? And who are you afterwards,
What are you doing here at Tribeca?
I'm here to see good movies, good art, and meet wonderful artists like myself that are trying to be part of the next generation of filmmaking and storytelling.
Have a great time. Thanks. It's your world premiere. And Roger said he said he didn't even get a chance to see it yet. Have you seen it on the big screen yet?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He's excited.
Who said that?
Stephen Rogers, the writer. Yeah.
He hasn't seen it on the big screen?
No, he said he didn't.
I think he's still...
Maybe he saw it on the big screen, but not complete.
Okay, yeah. No, he probably hasn't. He probably saw an early cut and stuff when we were doing test screenings, yeah. But yeah, no, I've seen it. I haven't seen it for a long time, and I haven't seen it with an audience this size. So it'll be really interesting to see what the reaction is with an audience, particularly in New York, because I think it will play differently in New York than it will in the middle America as well. So it'll be,
I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, you did? Yeah, and it seems like this movie has a lot of heart.
I think it'll play well in places like that, West Virginia and all these kind of places. So hopefully it plays okay here too, be in the Broadway community and stuff.
I think it's going to be a winner.
If you are lucky enough to be on any red carpet in any festival, when you have a film, come on, it's the greatest. We're the luckiest people in the world. I wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, look, we're having a premiere tonight, and I get to this is the best. And I tell young actors that all the time. I said, you got to fall in love. If you're not in love, you have much less of a chance to make it in this business. If you fall in love and are in love and nurture that love into a relationship, you have a chance to have a career.
Right. Do you feel like every decade you kind of recheck in with yourself? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people do it on New Year's Eve. Some people do it on their birthday, right? I'm good for maybe every decade, 10 to 20. It might be because I just turned 60 last week. So thank you so much. But sometimes I check in with myself and I'm like, do I still love doing it? And I think that's the answer for me. If you still love doing what you do.
Well, that's a big part of the movie. It's really hopefully to inspire people to chase their dreams, because I think there are a lot of people who walk around who didn't take that chance and they're angry. And if you can do what you love, you're way ahead of the game,
I love being a part of a drama that's about family and the complications, the two brothers that are complete polar opposites, and everybody wants different things. And to be part of someone who produces regional theater, you've always got to be moving, constantly moving, and it was hard for the whole family, really, especially when we're not too successful at it. I don't know.
Honored that you stopped by. Thank you so much. Happy journeys to you always.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys.
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.